Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Bando Mui Savadana Te Bando Mui Savadana Te Bando Mui Savadana Mate Bando Mui Savadana Mate Yahara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatori 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 Krishna Prapti Hoy Hoy Jai 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 Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Jatete Koriya Aikya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Jatete Koriya Aikya Arana Koriyo Maneya Charana Koriyo Maneya Charana Koriyo Maneya Charana Koriyo Maneya Shan Sri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttamagati 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 Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Nashaye Prasade Pure Sarva Ye prasade pure sarva. Asha ye prasade pure sarva. Sham Chakudan Diloje. Janmi Janmi Prabhu say Chakudan Diloje. Janmi Janmi Prabhu say Chakudan Diloje. Janmi Janmi Prabhu say Chakudan Diloje. Mi Janmi Prabhu Singh Devya Gyan Reddy Prakrasita Devya Gyan Prakrasita Devya Gyan Reddy Prakrasita Devya Gyan Reddy Prakrasita Prema Bhakti Yahoite Avidya Vinyasa Yati Prema Bhakti Avidya Vinyasa Yati Prema Bhakti Yahoite Avidya Vinyasa Yati Prema Bhakti Ahoite Avidya Vinyasa Yati Vedic Gayana Racharita Yana Racharita Vedic Gayana Racharita Vedic Naracharita Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu 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 Lokanath Lokera Jivana Lokanath Lokera Jivana Lokanath Lokera Jivana Lokanath Lokera Jivana Ha ha Prabhu Koradoya Dayamore Padachaya Ha ha Prabhu Koradoya Dayamore Padachaya Ha ha Prabhu Koradoya Dayamore Padachaya Ha ha Prabhu Koradoya Amore Padachaya ABSS Kuship Tribhubana ABSS Kuship Bhubana ABSS Kuship Tribhubana ABSS Tribhubana Prabhupada Patita Pavana Rila Prabhupada Tita Pavana Rila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Rila Patita Pavana Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya 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 Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya 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 Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Bristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Prashachade Shatarane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Prashachade Shatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Namaha. Thank you. Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo. Radha Krishna Seva Pavoya Vilasi. Radha Krishna Seva Pavoya Vilasi. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo. Chetto Mara Sharanoe Taravancha Purnae. Kripa Kori Koro Tare Vrindavanavasi. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo. Morai Avilas Vilas Kunjari Obahal. Nayane Rivasada Yugala Ruparahasi. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo. Hey Nivedanadaro Sakirano Ghatakoro. Hey Nivedanadaro Sakirano Ghatakoro. Sevadi Koro Diye Koroniya Dasi. Sevadi Koro Diye Koroniya Dasi. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo. Lina Krishna Dasikoi Yena Horahi. Lina Krishna Dasikoi Yena Horahi. Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jenavasi. Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jenavasi. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo. Yani Kani Chapapani Brahmatyani Cha. Tani Tani Pranasyanti Pradashina Pade Pade. Yani Kani Chapapani Brahmatyani Cha. Tani Tani Pranasyanti Pradashina Pade Pade. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Tulsi everyone.
हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नस्तप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 41, Text number 36. Oh, sorry, 34. Yeah, 34. स याचितो भगवता परिपूर्णेन सर्वतः साक्षेपं रुषिता प्राह भृत्यो राज्ञा सुदुर्मदः। स याचितो भगवता परिपूर्णेन सर्वतः साक्षेपं रुषितः प्राहा भृत्योराज्ञा सुदुर्मदः स याचितो भगवता परिपूर्णेन सर्वतः साक्षेपं रुषितः प्राह भृत्योराज्ञा सुदुर्मदः स याचितो भगवता परिपूर्णेन सर्वतः स याचितो भगवता साक्षेपं रुषितः प्राह स याचितो भगवता सः ही याचितः requested Bhagavata by the Supreme Lord Paripurnena, who is absolutely complete, Sarvataha, in all respects, Sa Akshepam, insultingly, Rushitaha, angered, Praha, he spoke, Brityaha, the servant, Ragyaha, of the king, Su, very much, Durmadaha, falsely proud. Thus requested by the Supreme Lord, who is perfectly complete in all respects, that arrogant servant of the king became angry and replied insultingly. Please repeat. Thus requested by the Supreme Lord, who is perfectly complete in all respects, that arrogant servant of the king became angry and replied insultingly. Jiva Goswami's commentary. Krishna Bhagwan, who is complete in all ways, requested him. This means that Krishna simply asked him to see the washerman's reaction, not because he needed anything. Vishnu Puran described his wicked behavior. Let's skip the Sanskrit. Kamsa's washerman, who was going to the palace, became astonished. Another version has Sudurmukha, speaking rudely instead of Sudurmadaha, proud. Harivamsa says he began speaking poison in order to attain the destination desired by the foolish. And Sanatan Goswami's commentary, Krishna Bhagwan, who is complete in all ways, requested him. He did not need any cloth. He was an ocean of sweetness capable of instantly manifesting unlimited excellent cloth. He asked because he was the Lord who had appeared to relieve the earth of its burden. This would produce a cause of killing Kamsa, or the cause of his being completely was that he was full of all powers, Bhagavan. The washerman spoke distinctly. He spoke insultingly because he was a servant of Kamsa and was very wicked. Kamsa's washerman who was going to the palace became astonished. Okay, this is similar to Jivasam. Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Hare Krishna. First of all, I'd like to offer my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas here. All of you are so senior to me. So please kindly give me your blessings so we can discuss this verse. Thank you. So before we go into verse, I just want to quickly just talk a little bit about the Pushya Abhishek. Today on the calendar is Purnima. I was just driving to the temple. It's like a beautiful full moon today. So this is from an article by Hari Parshar Prabhu. And he talks about this Pushya Abhishek, as is also known as Pushya Snanam. So the Abhishek he's relating is also as like a Snanam. Right? And he says it's a prominent festival in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, and it comes during this time of December, January. And the Pushya refers to the 8th of the 27 nakshatras. So, sometimes they Pushya or Pushpa, there's confusion. But here, Pushya refers to the 8th of the 27 nakshatras, so the name of a nakshatra. And the Abhishek is referring to bathing, either to of a deity or a king. It's considered that Pushya Abhishek. So it's a royal bathing ceremony of the Lord, which is carried out on this time. Also, there's other references about the significance that it's very favorable time to begin a journey on this day. And it is said in Mahabharata that when the Pandavas sent the Brahmin messenger to Hastinapur, it was on this day that he started. And Balram actually started his pilgrimage on this day of Pushya Nakshatra. And it's also very auspicious for donating gold. So if anyone would like to do it. And then also it talks about like how on Pushya Abhishek, when the king is actually bathed, very opulently, it is said that brings happiness, fame, and prosperity to the king. So coming to our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, here, we serve the Lord as a king, right? That is one of the aspects of our deity worship, that we're serving the Lord as a king. So treating and serving the deity as a king of a particular place is one of the 64 limbs of bhakti. The term paricharya refers to serving the Lord exactly like a king, right? So basically, on this day, we actually serve the Lord. We offer an abhishek, a special abhishek to the Lord. And it said like, one should offer the abhishek of the Supreme Lord using one prasta or 768 grams of pure cow ghee, attains the result of performing Ashwamedha Yajna and so on. This one, Hari Bhakti Vilas. So Prabhupada in one of the letters, this is in 1971, he says, this is from Prabhupada's letter, I'm very pleased that you're making arrangements for the first annual Pushpa Abhishek Yatra Parade and Festival 1971. And if he is free to come, Vishnu Swami may come to lead the kirtan and preaching. That is a good proposal. Krishna was just a toy in the hands of the gopis. So one day the gopis decided that we shall decorate him. Pushpa Abhishek means a ceremony to decorate the deity profusely with flowers, ornaments, and cloths. After, there should be lavish feasting and a procession through the streets so that all the citizens should see how beautiful Krishna appears. Right? So this is from Prabhupada's letter where he's actually talking of Pushpa Abhishek, and Prabhupada is saying that, how there should be nice decoration of the deities with flowers, ornaments. And Hari Parsha Prabhu, he says that, as following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, we can on this day decorate the deity with lots of flowers, do a special abhishek to the deity. So that's the main thing. So, and also further he talks about in Jagannath Puri, there's this, on this day, there is a special outfit that's offered to the deities because the deity is considered as a king, Lord Ramchandra. Jagannath is considered Lord Ramchandra. And there is an outfit called Raghu Vesh, Raghunandan, referring to Lord Ram, that is offered. And yeah, so that's what he talks about. Huh? Heavily starched? That's other pastime. That's another pastime. Okay. Like Lord Ramchandra. Yeah. Because it's the whole thing about doing Abhishek to a king. So they dress Jagannath as Lord Ramchandra and Balaram as Lakshman, and Subhadra is dressed as one of the sisters of Lord Ramchandra. It says, yeah, Ram's elder sister named Shanta. I don't know what's the reference. But yeah, that's how Jagannath is drawn. So actually, in this article, it says that this was the tradition, but sadly, for a long time, it's not being practiced because one aspect of this is that there should be a lot of gold offered with that outfit. And people, this is Kali Yuga, we don't have gold. Our Prabhupada says the only thing we have is plastic. So, so that's the push abhishek or pushpa abhishek. So coming back to the verse here. So this verse actually, the Sanskrit goes Sa Yachito Bhagavata, right? And it's very interesting how the Sanskrit flows. Yachito means to beg, right? To request. So, and then the next words actually says Paripurnam Sarvataha. Paripurnena Sarvataha. Paripurnena Sarvataha means one who is absolutely complete in all respects. So it's interesting just to think about this point that the person who is actually full in everything, complete in everything, is actually asking for something. And the point that came to my mind in Bhagavad Gita, like Krishna already in the 8th chapter, he's established Aham Sarvasya Prabho Mata Sarvam Pravartate. In the 5th chapter, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasa, that he is the supreme proprietor of everything. Everything belongs to Krishna, right? He's all opulences, like all wealth, all beauty, all fame, all knowledge, everything is Krishna. But later in the 9th chapter, he's saying, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam Toyam. Like Krishna is requesting, you offer me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, a water, And one may say, like, he is the proprietor of everything. Why is he asking for anything? Everything anyway belongs to him, right? And there, actually, in that purport, Prabhupada actually makes the point that Krishna is so merciful that he's made the process so easy for us that, anyone is qualified to actually connect with Krishna. Anyone can find a little fruit, a little flower, and offer it to Krishna. But through that offering, one is actually making that offering of devotion, connecting to Krishna through even the most simplest thing. But one is actually that way even connecting to Krishna. And Prabhupada and purport further says, well, it is bhakti that's the most important ingredient there, that we offer the fruits and flowers out of bhakti, because Krishna does not want anything from non-devotees. Why would he even care, right? Because anyway, everything belongs to him. Right? So, so I was thinking about this point, that how, and in this also, in this verse, like in Jiva Goswami's purport, he's actually making the point that Krishna simply asked him to see what is a washerman's reaction. Because Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. So, the reason he asked is he wants to see how the washerman will actually react to him. And I okay, so continuing along that line, like even in our practical spiritual life, we can see that anyway, everything belongs to Krishna. But if we actually lovingly, if we can offer it to Krishna, then we become glorious. And in this, it's so interesting. Now we are reading about this washerman, and then there'll be the florist, and then the kubja, like so many sweet interactions, like one after another, as in Mathura. So if we can offer whatever we have to Krishna, then we become glorious, because that's what Krishna says, right? We become glorious. We are offering our things to Krishna. And if we don't offer, I was thinking that in this case of washerman, that he's not willing to offer, anyway, everything will be taken away. That's through Krishna's external aspect of time. Anyway, everything is going to be taken away. So, do we want to lose it forcefully, or do we want to willfully offer it to Krishna? That's the only question. And here, because the washerman is not willing to offer it to Krishna, right? And then here he's actually become, it says, because of his arrogance, why should I give to Krishna, right? Because we do not know, we are ignorant of the glories of Krishna, we question, why should we give to Krishna, right? And then he replied very insultingly. So in Bhagavatam, actually, it uses the word for Krishna as Sharanya Sharanam. Right? Sharanya Sharanam. This comes in third canto and also in that famous verse, Devarshi Bhutatma Nirinam Pritinam. It actually says Sharanya Sharanam. So the two words are very interesting. Sharanam means to take shelter, but Sharanya is he's the most qualified person to take shelter of. So even in this previous verse in 33, Krishna has made a point, we deserve to get these clothes. Who else deserves it? Right? Who else deserves? So one way in that verse, in that Bhagavatam, Sharanyam verse 11 canto, it actually says, Gato Mukundam Paririta Kartam. Why does he deserve? Because he's Mukunda. He's the only person who can actually free us from the circle of birth, and that who can actually give us liberation. And then later on in the third canto of in the third canto of Bhagavatam, the other famous verse, Aho Baki Yam Stana Kala Kutam. It actually says, who can be more merciful than in personality Krishna? Who even Putana, she actually came with an intention to kill Krishna, but Krishna actually gave her the position of a mother in the spiritual world. Who can be more merciful than such a personality? Who is more, worthy of our surrender? Who is more worthy of us, of our giving, our, false, what we consider falsely ours to actually Krishna, right? Who is more worthy of a person to receive it? So that's the point about he's perfectly complete in all respects. Like Krishna, he's full within himself. He's how we say Akhila Rasamrita Murti. He's Raso Vaisaha. He has everything, and he's also like the abode of all rasas, or happiness. What does he need? But when we actually give something to Krishna, then that connection is very sweet. We are actually glorified. In one of the purports in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada makes a point that how Krishna has unlimited qualities, and he actually says Krishna exhibits a particular quality for each particular jiva. For every particular jiva, Krishna has one unique quality. So when we actually connect to Krishna, it is actually Krishna's that unique quality. Krishna, has an opportunity to actually exhibit that unique quality, though he is an abode of all unlimited qualities. So, and then, okay, and then further he actually says he began speaking poison in order to attain the destination desired by the foolish. So actually, I read this in a different place that how when Krishna saw this washerman, he recognized this person as the same person who in the pastimes of Lord Ramchandra was the one who actually criticized Lord Ram. He, the person who actually said that, oh, how has Lord Ramchandra accepted Sita? Because she has been with the other man, and then in that way he actually criticized Lord Ramchandra, right? And because of that, other citizens were actually disturbed and they criticized Lord Ramchandra, and because of that, the entire episode happened of how Lord Ramchandra actually, even when Mother Sita was pregnant, he actually left her in the ashram. And when Krishna saw that it's the same person, he decided that now is the time to end his mentality of criticism. Again, he's criticizing in this verse. And next two verses, that again he's going to criticize. Oh, you impudent boys, And Krishna said that that's enough of his the mentality of just like finding faults, And that's that's something that even our shastras again and again make the point that that disease of finding faults or blasphemy is like so dangerous, so detrimental to our spiritual life. Just like that tendency of fault finding is actually so detrimental to our spiritual life. And here, Krishna, when he saw that oh, this jiva has this, you know, has this negative quality, he's like, okay, now is the time to finish it away. You know? And and one can just other point I was thinking is like, up to this point we have seen all like sweet Vrindavan pastimes and how Krishna has killed all these demons, and then his love with the gopis and the Ras Leela, everything is covered. And now we are seeing that Krishna has come to Mathura and he's asking for something, and the person is actually criticizing him. So such a contrast compared to what we have seen in the previous pastimes. And yeah, in the next two verses, we'll read that how the washerman is actually criticizing Krishna. Um, and also, Sanatan Goswami is pointing out that he's an ocean of sweetness capable of instantly manifesting unlimited excellent love. Right? So Krishna is there with Balram and all the cowherd boys. If he needed something, then he could have got it anyway. Right? So the reason for his asking is just for delivering or giving some, like he says previously, if you give me, then you'll get the highest perfection. To actually give that washerman that perfection, and Krishna is actually asking this. Another point that came to my mind is anyway, this is maybe you all can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I was just thinking of this point that how Krishna up to this point is always dressed like a cowherd boy. He has that Vrindavan mood, right? And then now slowly he's transitioning into the mood where he's going to be a Kshatriya. And now he is with his cowherd boyfriends, right? And like, so there's going to transition as he's going to wear the clothes of a Kshatriya. But how is he doing it? He's actually doing it in a very joking way where he's going to kill this demon, this washerman, and then take his clothes and then give the Kshatriya clothes to everyone. It's the kings of it's the clothes of Kamsa actually. And he's actually going to take all the clothes and he's going to wear it and ask his cowboy boys, oh, everyone, select your clothes and wear it, right? So even one way that transitioning, Krishna is actually making it, oh, yeah, yeah, it's a part of pastime. And later on, actually, Krishna will take the dress of a Kshatriya. So that's my point. Okay. So any comments or any realization up to this point? Otherwise, I was thinking we can read one more verse. Yeah. Hmm. So what is the source of the tendency to criticize? Hmm. So actually, like one word that is actually used here is the point of pride. Pride. It is only pride that actually makes us like, think that oh, I am better than the other, and hence I have the right to criticize another person. Like Bhagavatam actually starts off that this envy and pride. This is actually our, uh, you know, our obstacle to relish Krishna's pastime, to even recognize who Krishna is. And Bhagavatam starts off by saying the point, oh, who can relish the Shastra? Parmo nirmat saranam satam. One who is actually free from envy, right? It is only out of envy or proud that we think that, oh, who is this Krishna? Why should I give to Krishna? I am the owner. Or, I'm working for so-and-so boss. I'm working for Kamsa. He is the owner. Who are you in front of me? You know? So it is because of this pride, and Krishna does not reveal himself to such a person who is like full of proud and pride and envy. He says like, okay, if that's your thing, then the element of time will purify you. And then when you're ready, then, I will actually reveal myself to you. Uh, like, Hmm. Yeah, I think Maharaj was mentioning this point yesterday about this point that having that even that ounce of bhakti, and that was not there in this washerman, and yeah. So unless there is some kind of like, as you said, that some sukriti, bhakti unmukha sukriti, how can you recognize Krishna? There has to be some mercy somewhere that you say, oh, this is Krishna. Kadaf. Yeah. Yeah, he was blessed. Like, one thing is when Krishna actually appears, then anyone in that incarnation, like when he personally appears, anyone who comes in contact with Krishna is certainly blessed. Like how they say, even in the battle of Kurukshetra, the people who even died seeing Krishna and they appreciated Krishna, they got one kind of perfection, right? Or just dying in the presence of Krishna, then there was another perfection. But anyone, anyway, who came in contact with Krishna got purified. Like, and that's actually Maharaj is talking from the seventh canto, first chapter. And that chapter further goes on to this point that anyway, anyone who comes in contact with Krishna will certainly get purified. It's just like the sun, even contaminated water coming in contact with the sun gets purified. You know? Yeah. And, mm, extremely magnanimous Krishna is. I'm just repeating for those who are online. Yeah, yeah. It's hard for us to conceive the magnanimous nature of Krishna. Yes, sir. Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Like, yes, ma'am. He took sannyas. Yeah, he took sannyas. Yeah. And this vision of Krishna that, however demoniac a person is, whatever demon, he is still thinking of the benefit. We see the same thing in the devotees of the Lord. Like, wherever, like, even like I was reading, I was hearing about this, that person who was, when Prabhupada was in New York, and then the person with whom he was staying, and he actually once went high on drugs and wanted to kill Prabhupada, and Prabhupada had to run for his life. And he said that later on that person came back, you know. Later, and Prabhupada was just like thinking of, oh, how can we benefit him? How can we give him prasadam? There was not even the slightest point that, oh, he's the same person who tried to kill me, you know. And that is the mood of a Vaishnava, it's like just thinking for the benefit. And then that verse actually in third canto says, right, Titisha Karunika, Suridam Sarvadehinam, Suridam Sarvadehin, for all living entities. He's actually considering what is the best for them, what is the best. And then in that purport, Prabhupada actually makes a point. Titiksha Karunika, he says, like, this is nature. They are always tolerant. And there, Prabhupada in the purport stresses on the point that for preachers, when you go out, there's always some kind of resistance. You know, there's always some kind of resistance. But the devotee is always tolerant, right? Always tolerant. And he is merciful, Karunika. And the tolerance comes because of that merciful, that magnanimous nature of the devotee. Any other point? Okay. Should we read one more verse? Or yeah? Okay. Text 35. ईदृशान्य एव वासांसि नित्यं गिरिवनेचरः परिधत्ता किम् उद्वृत्ता राजा द्रव्याण्य अभीप्सत. Translation. The washerman said, "You impudent boys, you are accustomed to roaming the mountains and forests, and yet you would dare put on such clothes as these? These are the king's possessions you are asking for." Yeah. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Udvrita means one who has deviated from good conduct. Vrita is conduct. O ill mannered boys, have you ever worn such clothing? And that was in quotes. And by the cleverness of Saraswati, the washerman's words also mean the opposite. It's so interesting. Our acharyas always do this. Whenever there's a criticism of Krishna, they actually use the Sanskrit words to actually find the glory of Krishna. Right? Could also mean the opposite. And in quotes it says, "O boys of excellent character, Utkrishta Vrita, who herd cows on Govardhan, will you wear these material clothes? That can never be. Therefore, why do you want to don the clothes of an impure king, even in play?" So, even I think in the episode of when Shishupal is blaspheming Krishna, right? Uh, and in that episode, our acharyas, they actually give the commentary. Every blasphemy, they actually convert it. They use a Sanskrit play of Sanskrit words, and they glorify Krishna. And saying like everything is actually for the glory of Krishna. Right? So here, this is the first verse, and then there's one more verse where the washerman is actually speaking, and here is saying, "You impudent boys." So again, it comes back to the point of pride. They are not recognizing Krishna and saying that you are impudent, you are proud, right? And how Prabhupada makes a point, Atmavan manyate jagat. One sees the world as one is, you know. And because he has a proud, he's saying that, oh, you are proud. That's how we see the world. Whatever like qualities we have, that's how we see others with the same nature. You impudent boys, you are accustomed to roaming the mountains and forests, and yet you dare to put on such clothes as these. So one way, like, washerman is saying that, you are village boys. We are here in the city, Mathura. The king Kamsa is there, so great king. You are just simple cowherd boys, simple cowherd boys. Why would you want the clothes of this king? These belong to the king Kamsa, you know. Why should, I give it to you? Right? And how our acharyas are actually saying that, they say like, these, and one, how we say the point that Krishna is, and again going back to Bhakti Rasam, since the qualities are there, right, of Krishna, 64 qualities. And then there's 4 qualities which are exclusively to Krishna. And one of them is Rupa Madhurya, saying that Krishna, that Nanda Krishna is most beautiful. Right? He is the most beautiful, the most attractive. Rupa Madhurya, right? Most attractive. And one way from devotee perspective, we can say that a Krishna who is most attractive as a cowherd boy of Vrindavan, why would he want to put up clothes of that of a Kshatriya, of that of King Kamsa? You know, that is actually like the most beautiful form of Krishna. Why would he accept these degrading clothes? And one may think about this point that why did Krishna actually, he, later on he does accept the clothes, and he asks all his cowherd boys also that, oh, what all clothes are there? Please take, after he kills the washerman. And they all accept those clothes. And one may say that this is not a devotee. Like we in that Patram Pusham Phalam Toyam, Prabhupada makes a point that why would Krishna accept anything from a devotee? It's not out of a feeling of love. Krishna actually sees the bhakti there, right? So one may think that why Krishna actually accepted Kamsa's clothes here, clothes that were meant for Kamsa. Do you have any? Hmm. Him selling? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Excuse. Okay. Hmm. You want to create fear. Hmm. Kim Kamsa, yeah. And and that's why I think in the previous verse, Krishna actually, like our acharyas makes the point that, oh, what is the prize you're giving? And Krishna is actually making the point, oh, you'll get the highest benefit. You'll get the greatest benefit. Not like a monetary benefit, but you'll get the highest benefit in terms of your existence. So, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, you have two more commentaries here. Okay, and Jiv Goswami. Yes, okay. Jiv Goswami. Oh, arrogant boys who talk without fear of the king, Udvrita. This is because you are forest vagabonds. Prabhupada uses that word, right? Vagabonds. Can persons like you wear such cloth? Why do you desire the king's objects? You will gain nothing from this. Rather, having come to the king's city, you will gain only fear by offending the king. And if you wear the clothing, it is a joke since you are forest wanderers. To deceive them, he then spoke as if being truthful. Why do you desire the king's possessions? Or why do you desire such clothing since it indicates that you are arrogant and desire the king's possessions? You should not wear this clothing and you should not desire in this way. This shows you are arrogant. It is said, Sayam Hiranya Paridhim. Krishna's complexion was dark blue and his belt was golden. Being complete in himself, Paripurnena, his clothing was already most attractive. So that was the point I was referring to. He's already the most attractive personality. Why do you need something which is actually lower to what you're already wearing? Vishnu Puran says concerning their playing in the forest, the two boys had cloth ornamented with gold and black powder. However, the demon's eyes cannot see this. There's also a hidden meaning in these words. O boys having an attractive occupation, wandering in the forest of Govardhan, you wear most attractive cloth. Do you desire the king's cloth? Of course not. You are asking for this cloth as a trick. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, Mati. So 32 has that point about how this is actually he was. Oh, he had some cloth for selling. However, to deceive Krishna, he said the cloth was for Kamsa. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Hmm. Right. Yeah, wonderful. And that's how like every interaction with Krishna is just so relishable, whether it's this washerman or the florist or then Kubja, that whole episode. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all for your realizations. Hare Krishna. All of you made the points.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanbanda Paravindalayatatam Bhavatam Samasitam Purasundaram Tandar Tato Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govinda Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda, Hari Purusha, Namaham Vachami, Angani Akasa, Priya Priti Manti, Vasyan Vika, Vikayanti, Vira, Ananda, Chimaya, Sadhu, Dala, Vigrasya, Govinda, Adi Purusha, Namaham Vajami, Govinda, Adi Purusha, Namaham Vajami, Govinda, Adi Purusha, Namaham Vajami, Govinda, Adi Purusha, Namaham Vajami.
And uh, Kamagon Vishnupataya Krishna Prataya Uttate Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Damini Namine Say that's what TJB Gupani Punja Hey Even say shot Sundavante Vatsachane Vatsane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadana Sivasadi Gauratinda Advaita Gadana Sivasadi Gauratinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadana Sivasadi Gauratinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadana Sivasadi Gauratinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Rama Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Rama Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya. Jaya Radha, looking on the Radha, looking on the Radha. Jaya Radha, looking on the Radha, looking on the Radha. Radhe, 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 Radhe. Jayarane, 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 Radhe Jayati Radhe Jai Om Vishnupad.
Chaitudarpana Marjanam Bhava Mahodavagni Treya Kairavya Chandikavisaranam Vidyabadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Pranamrita Swaranam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bharda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamitas Saranena Kala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunitena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amani Namanadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadishakamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavadad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Bhatitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripaya Tava Bhatnakankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vichintaya Nayanam Galadushadaraya Varanam Gadgadaradaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapuka Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Nimushena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shrinayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahiname Aslishyavapadavratam Panashtumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Tatata Vinatolam Pato Mat Pranatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone, render all benediction to you. And there are powered and past rules chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself or in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and to be ready to for all men. In such a state of the name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want a number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my hairs in the body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, in separation, considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.